Titan, a submersible owned and operated by the American travel and adventure business OceanGate, sank on June 18, 2023. Some 370 nautical miles, 690 kilometers, off the coast of Newfoundland, Canada. It carried 5 passengers and was a part of a tourist excursion to see the Titanic's remains. 1 hour and 45 minutes into its descent, Titan's communication was lost, and when it didn't resurface later that day as planned, authorities were notified. The incident caused chaos all over the world and is considered to be one of the most drastic accidents of the decade. Let's take a deeper look at the incident and find out all the necessary details about the incident. Reason for the Titan submarine incident. Experts from all over the world believe that a catastrophic explosion caused the Titan submarine to sink. As a result, something inside the Titan submarine caused it to stop functioning and become so badly damaged that it sank close to the Titanic. In reality, catastrophic implosion is a process that occurs when a submarine's interior is under so much pressure that it sustains severe damage before ceasing to function. A study claims that such a circumstance occurs when there is too much pressure in a small area, and if the submarine is not equipped to handle that pressure, an internal explosion results in the submarine collapsing. Passengers list. The passengers on the submarine include Hamish Harding. Harding served as the chairman of the aviation sales and consultancy firm Action Aviation. Shahzada Dawood. Shahzada Dawood served as the vice chairman of both the investment and holdings company Dawood Hercules Corp. and the Pakistani energy investment company Engro. Sulaiman Dawood. Sulaiman, a college student who was 19 years old, was Shahzada Dawood's son. Stockton Rush. British entrepreneur Stockton Rush established OceanGate in 2009 and served as its CEO. Paul-Henri Nargeolet. Paul-Henri Nargeolet served in the French Navy for 22 years, rising to the rank of commander. He was known as Mr. Titanic for his knowledge of the ship. OceanGate. Founded in 2009 by Stockton Rush and Guillermo Sonline, OceanGate is a privately held firm. It has been using leased commercial submersibles to carry paying customers off the coast of California, in the Gulf of Mexico, and in the Atlantic Ocean since 2010. The business is based in the American city of Everett. Theories regarding the incident. The potential causes of the Titan submersible's tragic implosion have been discussed by a former Royal Navy submarine captain. Paul White, an expert in acoustics and underwater pressures at the University of Southampton in England, believes that the deep-sea forces that make missions like this so uncommon are likely what led to Titan's sudden end. A total of 6,000 pounds would have been exerting pressure on every square inch of the Titanic's exterior at a depth of around 12,500 feet, where the water pressure is nearly 400 times more than at the ocean's surface. A flaw in the Titan's hull may have led to an implosion as the ship gave way under the intense pressure of the ocean's depths, according to Stephen Williams, a professor of marine robotics at the University of Sydney. The 21-foot vessel has 4 days of emergency capability, the leader of search and rescue efforts said Monday afternoon, as crews with the U.S. and Canadian Coast Guards continued scouring the ocean's surface about 900 miles east of Cape Cod and used sonar to listen for sounds far below the water, which is up to 13,000 feet deep in the area. The 5 people on board the vessel, which was on an expedition to view the Titanic wreckage, comprised 1 pilot and 4 mission specialists. Rear Admiral John Mauger, commander of the U.S. Coast Guard's 1st District, said Monday in a news conference. He didn't identify the 5 and said authorities still were in the process of contacting family members. He referred reporters to the group conducting the expedition, OceanGate Expeditions, for information about what the term mission specialist entails. The U.S. Coast Guard will lead the investigation into the Titan submersible incident, the National Transportation Safety Board tweeted Friday evening. The U.S. Coast Guard has declared the loss of the Titan submersible to be a major marine casualty and will lead the investigation, the NTSB tweeted. The NTSB has joined the investigation and will contribute to their efforts. The USCG is handling all media inquiries related to this investigation. CNN reported earlier Friday that the Transportation Safety Board of Canada is launching an investigation into the implosion of the Titan. CNN has reached out to that agency to see how and if they will be working with officials in the United States on this investigation. The vessel has 5 people on board it, according to the U.S. Coast Guard. A dwindling oxygen supply of 40 hours. That gives responders just 2 days to locate the Titan, which is believed to be hundreds of miles from the nearest coast and potentially thousands of feet below sea level. Plus bring it back to the surface to rescue those inside. It's a complex mission, with retired U.S. Navy submarine captain David Marquette putting the odds of passengers' survival at about 1%. And it's certainly not the first of its kind. There have been several prominent rescue missions for both submarines and submersibles, which are not fully autonomous, over the course of the last century. The deepest underwater rescue ever accomplished, officially, was that of the commercial submarine Pisces 3, off the coast of Ireland in 1973.
Communication with Titan was lost 1 hour 45 minutes into its dive. Authorities were alerted when it failed to resurface at the scheduled time later that day. After the submersible had been missing for 4 days, a remotely operated underwater vehicle, ROV, discovered a debris field containing parts of Titan, about 500 meters, 1,600 feet, from the bow of the Titanic. The search area was informed by the United States Navy's USN sonar detection of an acoustic signature consistent with an implosion around the time communications with the submersible ceased, suggesting the pressure hull had imploded while Titan was descending, resulting in the instantaneous deaths of all 5 occupants. The search and rescue operation was conducted by an international team led by the United States Coast Guard, USCG, USN, and Canadian Coast Guard. Support was provided by aircraft from the Royal Canadian Air Force and United States Air National Guard, a Royal Canadian Navy ship, as well as several commercial and research vessels and ROVs. Numerous industry experts had raised concerns about the safety of the vessel. OceanGate executives, including Rush, had not sought certification for Titan, arguing that excessive safety protocols and regulations hindered innovation. Titan's hull is believed to have collapsed on Sunday as a result of enormous water pressure. The sub was built to withstand such pressure, and experts will now be trying to determine what exactly went wrong. Analysis of the debris may help to establish this. Titan is believed to have been 3,500 meters below sea level when contact was lost. The vessel was so deep that the amount of water on it would have been equivalent to the weight of the Eiffel Tower, tens of thousands of tons. If there were a rupture to the structure, the pressure outside would be much greater than the one inside the hull, compressing the vessel. How an investigation is likely to proceed. Any investigation is sure to focus on the carbon fiber midsection of the Titan sub. The pressure vessels of deep vehicles like this are normally constructed from a robust metal such as titanium and are shaped in a sphere, to spread the immense pressure equally around the passenger compartment. But to fit more people inside, the OceanGate sub adopted a cylindrical shape, with a carbon fiber tube inserted between two titanium end caps. Carbon fiber is very tough, they use it to build aeroplane wings and racing cars. But did that immense pressure at depth, more than 300 times the atmosphere at the sea surface, play on the material to expose flaws in the original fabrication or to introduce and then worsen instabilities over repeated dives? Any investigation would want to know about the practiced non-destructive testing. Aircraft are subjected to regular, very fine-scale inspections to ensure their materials are not developing cracks or that their layers are not starting to separate.
Who were the 5 passengers on board the Titan submarine? Search and rescue teams scoured the Atlantic for several days with hopes of finding the Titan submersible intact and its crew alive. However, on the 22nd of June, the U.S. Coast Guard announced that a debris field had been found not far from the doomed vessel's destination. The 5 people aboard had been en route to visit the remains of the Titanic some 12,500 feet below the surface. The experimental submersible succumbed to the immense pressure of the depths, with the hull failing, causing a catastrophic implosion, killing all aboard instantly. These are the people who were on the ill-fated Titan. Shahzada and Suleiman Dawood. Two of the people on board the missing submarine are Tycoon Shahzada Dawood and his son, Suleiman. Aged 48, Shahzada is a trustee of the SETI Institute, a non-profit organization dedicated to research on life and intelligence in the universe. It should also be noted that it works with other institutions such as Prince's Trust International and the British Asian Trust. With studies in textile marketing and law, he is in the vessel with his son Suleiman, who is just 19 years old. Originally from Pakistan, the Dawood family currently resides in Surbiton, southeast London. In addition to all of the above, the businessman is vice president of an investment company, which bears the name of Dawood Hercules Corporation. The company manufactures chemical products. Stockton Rush, another of the people on board the Titan, is the CEO of the company that has organized the experience, OceanGate. The name of said manager is Stockton Rush. He is the founder of the company, which was created 13 years ago, and is its executive director. Rush was the youngest qualified jet transport pilot on the planet when he achieved the rank of captain at the age of 19. In 1989, he manufactured an experimental plane and a submersible for 2 people, making more than 30 dives. Paul-Henri Nargeolet. Another passenger is Paul-Henri Nargeolet. He was born in Chamonix, France 73 years ago. For 20 years he was in the French Navy, until his retirement, a period in which he received the rank of commander. Afterwards he joined the French Institute for Research and Exploitation of the Sea, devoting himself to exploring the Titanic. In fact, in 1987, he was one of those who led an expedition with the aim of recovering objects from one of the best-known shipwrecks of all time. He has made more than a dozen dives and has been able to oversee the recovery of numerous objects from said ship. It is also worth mentioning his presence in one of the best-known documentaries about the White Star Line ship. Nargeolet appeared in Titanic, in the heart of the shipwreck. There, he shared the screen with the director of the 1997 film, one of the most successful of all time, James Cameron. Hamish Harding. Another of the people who was inside the submarine is that of Hamish Harding. Born in 1964, he is president of Action Aviation, a company specializing in the purchase and sale of aircraft. He is also an explorer, with which he has been able to break several records and has been involved in others, especially in the South Pole.